There's nothing wrong with being woken up in the middle of the day for meetings. I don't know what you're talking about, okay? You should try it sometime. It's good for your soul. Anyway, good morning. It is good for the soul. Sometimes it's just better to be woken up than it is to not be woken up, right? So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, boys and girls. How are we all doing today? Yeah. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go all the way up to Milano. City life. Okay, alright. So we're going to go to Milan by way of, what is this, Palermo. There we go. Ow, 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 ow. Imagine that. Why? What? Why are you insisting on... What? What is this route? Oh my god. Anyway. What? What are you telling me? Oh my god. Okay. So if we do this. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my god. Alright, okay. What are you even saying? How does that even work? Okay, I guess we won't be going to Palermo. No, I'm not going to comment on why I just laughed. You know that. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. Aquila. We're gonna go by way of Rome. Fantastic. Oh, what happened to my face? That's a good question. I forgot to... Wait, what happened to my face? No, it's right there. What are you talking about? Okay, let's start with the drinks. Anyway, how are we all doing today? You know, when you say it like that, that makes it sound like you're all a bunch of alcoholics, which I can't even deny that. Well, yeah, because okay, so like you guys know, or some of you will know that we used to do this every week where we would talk about drinks, and then sometimes I would forget to talk about drinks, or I would just deliberately ignore people who wanted to talk about really boring drinks. And there we go. Let me just make my face a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay, we're good. And so when that happens, you know, they apparently desperately want me to continue talking about drinks, and so afterwards I'm being forced to actually, you know, do so. Excuse me. Okay. And let me just get the airplane rolling. There we go. And so when I do end up doing so, they get so super excited, and it's almost cute until you remember that these are like you know, these are dudes that probably shouldn't be acting like that. Maintain 70 throttle. Airspeed above -1 knots. Okay, fantastic. That tells you exactly about how they were programming this thing. So we are in Malta, which was, yes, actually Malta is one very interesting case because simply because of how it was, like how it came to be, right? Like it's obviously a another symbol of British imperialism, but you know, like most of the world is a symbol of imperialism at this point. So that's not something to complain about. I dropped something. Give me just 1 second. Just, yeah, I know. Just give me 1 second. Yes, you guys. Okay, just because I'm trying to respond to an email that I need to respond to doesn't mean you get to like make faces at me through the door here. Okay. We'll get to the drinks. So we're doing something slightly different today in that everyone who wants so for today only, for this one Friday only, the people whose drinks we'll be talking about are actually outside my door. So I can turn to the right and there they are right there, and and this was partially requested and partially serendipitous because they are having a wine and cheese out there, but of course, being them, instead of it being a wine and cheese, they have a bartender at 10 in the morning. You know, like just give me one quick second. Yes, I know. I'm trying. I'm trying to finish this conversation that I got pulled into right before starting the stream, and you know, for reasons that are obvious to those who know, I have to. But anyway, the point is, we are doing this, but they're having their drinks out there. They're gonna walk up, try to shove the. I'm holding my arm up, but only they can see it. So they're gonna walk up, shove the drink, sort of not in my face, but like against the door, and I will make a face and I will say yes or no. Um, and for the more interesting ones, I will actually comment on. We're going to do how many? Six, five, five. Good. Don't want to do more than that. Oh, what about the rest of you? The rest of you, I will give you leeway to talk about Elon Musk. How about that? Hmm, 1 second. You know, it's see, this is why I say that there's nothing really special about Elon, about Peter, about who else did I talk about yesterday? Reed Hastings, because there isn't, right? Like these are people that made their fortunes in the they made their fortunes in good times. And I realized there was 2008 and the entire financial crisis in 2008, but that did and I mean I know this for a fact because I know some of the people that came out of it. It wasn't technically bad times for a whole swath of the society. It was bad for the general public. It was bad for the poor. And therein is sort of like there's some mild justification for this act of class warfare that we're seeing, right? But it really wasn't that bad for rich people 2008. Right? Like you suffered if you were, say, lower middle class, but upper middle class and upper class, or we shouldn't say upper middle class and upper class. We should say above average income and above didn't really suffer, and that is yeah. Let me just add that in. No, that's a terrible drink, by the way. And what time is it? What time is it? 10 minutes. Wasn't that bad for above average income households, which is sad, right? And yeah, like if you were above average, you didn't really suffer that much, and that really speaks. I was gonna say this really speaks to the bifurcation from childhood education, right? I think to me that is very much indicative of a malfunction in the education system as opposed to it being anything else. And that's, yeah, that's just how can we fix that? We can't fix that within a generation. We have to take 2 generations of extra hard work to fix that, and nobody's willing to put in 2 full generations of extra hard work on something as nebulous and hard to quantify as education, right? And that is the problem to me in modern society. Like, we are, by nature, humans are short term, right? Like, why do you guys keep having like terrible drinks? By nature, humans tend to be short term unless forced to think about long term. Like, we value short term agency much, much more than we value long term justice, right? And that's actually, that is why sometimes dictators are so interesting, or are so feel like they are welcomed, because they are taking short-term concrete actions, and that illusion of agency gives them short-term legitimacy that they can then sort of pull and use in the long term, right? Dictators demonstrate short-term agency, which they then parlay into long term, right? And yeah, like, I think we can all see that in ourselves. If you psychoanalyze yourself just even a little bit, you can start seeing that, like, things that take 5 years will be much more nebulous than things that take 1 year, and obviously there's good reason for that, right? Because the longer the time frame, the more the uncertainty. Exactly. And the more the uncertainty, the more the less likely it is we are to take action on it, right? And so this is because we are afraid, we are fundamentally, shall we say, we find we because fundamentally we um, find it an issue. We don't like uncertainty. And so if something takes 2 generations, which in my view is about 40 years, 30 to 40 years, if something takes 2 generations, that is obviously much, much harder to fund than something that takes 2 years, right? Which is why even now we can see, even in democratic debates on the left, we're seeing a reversion to fighting crime, being tough on crime, etc., because we have seen that. Well, I mean, at least, yeah, it is. We are talking about California. There's no getting around that, because we have seen that. Yes, I'll put that in. What time is it? 15 minutes. California and reversion to fighting crime, because we have seen that those policies that completely defunded police, or like pulled the police out, did not have the desired effect, because obviously that is not humanity works, right? Like, you can't. It's just it sounds great up until a certain point, and there is, in America there is a habit of police being more in your face than they probably need to be. But that doesn't mean that you can get rid of them, because humanity cannot possibly police itself, right? It's very unlikely that such a thing would ever work. And don't give me, I don't want to hear about communes. I don't want to hear about small villages and all of that. That that kind of model does not work for society at large, right? Like, it simply doesn't. Seriously? Who puts vodka and Mountain Dew? Can you imagine? Vodka and Mountain Dew. It's just like, why would you do that? I mean, okay, isn't that okay? So to me, that is almost the same thing as Red Bull, right? Like Red Bull and vodka, or something like that. I mean, it's fine. You do what you want, but like, I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. Is that fair? Yes, yes. It's because I hate life. Why do I hate fun? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Say that to the person that's half your age. Come on, let's do that. Anyway, I was talking about something. I can't. California reversion to crime agency. Right. Humans crave agency, and agency usually means short term action, right? And so we were talking about the crime. We were talking about, and the underlying point is that education reform is hard, not just because education is hard, but also because humanity doesn't like things that take so long to do, right? Which is actually, in my view, which is often why we cannot have a completely representative government. And we're talking about political structure now, where um, the I'm all for democracy, but democracy, as it's practiced, tends to be very short term. And unless there are external crises where leaders can rally people around some sort of very firm goal, democracy shrinks in term slowly, right? What time? 18 minutes. Democracy shrinks in attention span unless there is an external rally point. Because internal never works. You cannot you cannot rally internally. On No, sorry, you cannot rally on an internal issue unless it is um, so overwhelming that it actually is an external issue, right? So we're talking things like the Soviet government, like the Cold War. We're talking things like, oh, say for example, absolute extinction due to mole people rising out. But all of these things are external by definition, and that's because humanity needs an external factor to unite itself. Otherwise, it'll consume itself from within, and that's just our lot in life. Yes, isn't Sicily beautiful, by the way? Like, these, I love the idea of these small rolling hills, and unfortunately, Sicily is also one of the poorest places in Italy for historical reasons. It's a shame. It's a shame, because obviously the north of Italy is its industrial heartland, and the further south you go, the further the and actually, this is something I've noticed That is terrible. Why would you do that? um, that is, yeah, okay, okay. Tonic and liquid smoke. Um, I don't. So like, what you have smoky, lemony, sweet, sparkling water. That. Uh, oh my god. I can't. No. I'm just gonna go back to talking about this. I'm not gonna comment on that. What was I saying? Right. One quick second. Humanity, no. Civilization. Modern civilization, um, tends to see the poorest. I just need to respond to this one message. Tends to see the modern, no. Um, the poorest areas in civilized, no, in developed countries tend to be where the farming was the best. I don't know if that kind of makes sense. Like, definitely south of Italy. We see that in south of France. We see that. Let me just get this out of the way. Move this in. Yes, I know. I realize this is contentious, but that's fine. That's the whole point of these. Um, I do think so though. Like the south of Italy, Spain, right? South of France. Um, the places that were really successful in agriculture tend to also be the ones that are more conservative because they can be, because things have always worked, right? And that is sort of a core of humanity, that when things are good enough, we don't want them to change. And that goes back to uncertainty again, right? Like we talked about uncertainty when blah 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 12 minutes. Yes. At around the 12-minute mark. And that's it exactly, right? Because when things are uncertain, we want to improve our lot in life, and that creates progress. Whereas if you're simply able to live off the land, if you don't need really good farming techniques to make the land feed you, then you're less likely, I would argue you're much less likely to try to pursue growth and development and all of that, right? Like it's just a natural consequence of essentially being well off enough that you don't need to worry. And when we don't worry, we don't need to change, and therefore the other places that did need to change develop things that would then leapfrog our ability. And so over the past 150 years, I would argue, well, 100 years, let's go with about 150 years, um, the places that were farming, that were really good at farming, have been eclipsed by the places that really didn't have that natural advantage, and those that turned into manufacturing hubs, knowledge hubs, and our modern society really depends on that, right? So it's no, I'm not saying that. Oh, Sicily used to be the richest place in Italy. No, absolutely not. But it used to be, the people in Sicily didn't, like, there was no chronic, decade long, multi-decade food insecurity issue, right? Because as long as you got some dudes in a farm, they couldn't make more than they can eat, and they can sell that. right? And when you're able to do that, then you're very much able to. Uh, I'm not saying there's no worry, but the worries are not as focused as people who live in places where you can't, right? Where food security is not. Oh yeah, I did myself a disfavor, didn't I? Yeah, that's okay. Yes, that's right. I'm standing around like that. I wonder why it does that occasionally. Oh, it's probably because when I tap. Let's try this. No, that's not. Hmm. Oh well, not important. uh, I'm not sure how I feel about this drink. So what is that? That is whiskey, which I like, obviously, and smoke, which is, it's understandable. Liquid smoke is understandable. You give your whiskey some extra character. That's perfectly fine. See, if so it's whiskey, liquid smoke, and what is it? It's a Coke and Sprite mix. And if that were all in one cup, I would go, why would you do that to yourself? But it's not. It's in two cups, and you're sipping the Coke and chasing it down with some whiskey. So it's like, I can kind of see that because the sugar in the soft drink pre-biases the palate, and then when you have the smoky whiskey go in, it actually intensifies the flavor, right? So, how do I feel about that? I don't know. Let me think about that for just a few moments. 27, uh, Coke Sprite mix. What was it? Sipped and chased with whiskey. What kind of whiskey? Liquid smoke. Okay. At least not, you're not drinking something that's actually like valuable, um, because then I would call you out for that, because you don't. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, I hmm, how do I feel about that? I'm mildly conflicted, but I think I approve. If only because you're not doing it for the sugar water, but you're doing it to enhance the intensity of the alcohol, right? Actually, let me try it. Let me try it. Give everyone. Yeah, I'll be back in 30 seconds. um, that's way too much smoke. But I can see it work if you didn't make it like that. I can see it work. I'm gonna try it later tonight, and I suppose report back on it. Um, but yeah, in general, it hmm. You know what? I'll go with approve today. I'll approve it. I'll approve. It's true. Not that my approval really matters, but doesn't. It's all good. It's all good. Give us some waves. Go. Fantastic. Yeah. I think I like it. I think I like it. Like not that particular. Like that pre-bias actually works, because then the aftertaste of the whiskey is also a little bit sweeter, and that's really interesting to me, because I thought it would make the aftertaste more bitter, but in my case, at least, it was sweeter. Anyway, we are done for today. We only got to Calabria. I don't know how to speak Italian in the slightest, so don't even. Or we haven't even really gotten there yet. But the point is, we are done for today. Next time we'll pick up. We'll start here, or maybe we'll start in Naples, and then we'll go up north to Rome, and then all the way up to Milan. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching. Happy Friday. Am I going to do more drinks after this? We can. Not immediately, because I have a meeting. But then afterwards, we can do it in the drinks channel. No problem. No problem with that. Yes. Final questions. Am I really going on vacation? No, I'm not really going on vacation. Well, no. It's going to be the same kind of vacation as last week, where I will be working in the lab, trying to finish my PhD. Well, it doesn't matter. It's not important. Like I need to get these experiments banged out, right? So we will do that, or I will do that. Chances are I will stream probably tomorrow. Not sure about Sunday, and maybe Monday. Actually, I might still be in the lab on Monday. It depends on how Sunday goes. So we'll see. We'll see. Good. Excellent. Okay. Anyway, thank you again very much for watching. In conclusion, please download Firefox, please download Chrome, and I shall see all of you probably tomorrow. But I mean, it's not like I'll stop conversing, right? And I'll still send out our conversation topics anyway. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Cool. Bye. No, bye. Thank you for your concern. Bye.